Hello everybody, video here for you today. There's a ranch in northern Utah that's considered to be the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing phenomena on Earth. Bizarre UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. The federal government tried and failed for 20 years to find answers, but now a new team of experts has taken over, determined to reveal the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. This is a no-cap recap of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 5, Episode 10, called What the Gel? Aired July 2nd, 2024. For more Skinwalker Ranch recaps, there's a playlist link in the upper right. Thomas briefs Dr. Taylor on the calf that was spinning on the last episode. Dr. Taylor suspected microwave exposure due to its eyes going white. The vet said that there were ruptured eyeballs as well as neurological trauma. On a positive note, the calf was doing much better after being taken off the ranch, similar to other sick animals in the past. The team concludes that it's too much of a coincidence that it happened on the field near the Mesa dig site, so it must be related somehow. Gibbs Rule 39, there is no such thing as a coincidence. Dr. Taylor didn't detect any microwaves or radiation where the cow was spinning, but his compass had north 20 degrees off. For over a month now, the team has been trying to drill a borehole on the right side of the dome-shaped anomaly inside the mesa. The drill bit was the furthest it had gotten, including 100 inches into something that was really dense, when something began blocking the beacon right behind the drill bit. The beacon emits a signal that is picked up by a scanner on the surface so that they know exactly where the drill bit is and can steer it where they want. In this case, an arc that would come out vertically of the top of the mesa. Previously on the last episode, the scanner could no longer detect the beacon, so the driller was steering blind. The team decided to pull out the drill bit to check the beacon. They removed the battery and replace it with a fully charged one. Dr. Taylor grabs the removed battery to test it and finds that it is also fully charged at 3.6 volts. The drill goes back into the same borehole. Chris Porrett, retired Uintah County Sheriff, visits and has decided to share some things from more than 30 years ago that he promised former ranch owner Ken Meyer that he wouldn't tell anyone. Meyer was afraid that the government would take the ranch away from him if the news got out. The Meyers owned the ranch from 1934 to 1994. Porrett, who has shared mutilation stories with the team previously, says that Meyer called him to take a look at some cattle mutilations. At this spot, he says he saw a cow that was laying down right in front of where he is standing with its head partly in the ditch. From the shoulder blades to the tip of the nose, every bone was gone, no skull or neck bone. From the shoulders up, the skin was an empty sack. As is very common on the ranch, all the blood was gone, and there was none on the cow or the dirt either. He further says that there was some craft wreckage. Behind the cow, right where he was pointing, there was a piece of 10-foot wide sheet of metal that looked like aluminum. Myers picked it up, crumpled it up, and said, "Watch this," and threw it on the ground. Porrett said he watched it uncrumple itself back to a flat sheet of metal. In 1979, retired Lieutenant Colonel Jesse Marcel described having seen the same thing when he led the recovery of the craft that crashed near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. The military first said that it was a flying saucer, then the next day said it was a weather balloon. Porrett says that there was a large indentation in the ground, 5 feet wide and 12 feet long, that he assumed was caused by a craft. He also says there was a liquid, more like a jelly, and it was green and scattered all over. Thomas later says that they have wide camera footage of the nearby spot that a cow died in 2019. And up in the sky above was a black UAP. Thomas and Dragon relay the information to Dr. Taylor and Eric. Thomas points out something that Eric noticed early on the ranch, that this tree has a very circular hole in the canopy. Dr. Taylor wants an arborist to look at it. Enter arborist from Arborist Plus, John Kammerer. He climbs up on ropes and says that the branch growing straight up and then curving out to the right is not natural, and something going through the tree could have caused it. Eric asks when that would have happened, and John says 30 years ago or longer. Back at the drill site, the bit is almost 180 feet in, with the beacon signal still being detected. The signal also shows up on Dr. Taylor's equipment, shown here. Then the signal starts intermittently disappearing and changing frequency. The driller that is scanning on the mesa said that he has only seen this type of thing when they were drilling where a trench was dug and covered with a steel road plate. Since a previous drill attempt brought out small pieces of metal that is similar to what NASA uses to cover the bottom of spacecraft, they checked these spoils to see if they find some more to explain the erratic readings. Dragon does not find any of those in the spoils, but does find this green gel. And then more. He calls Dr. Taylor over to come take a look. And then finds another piece of green gel that they dilute with water, and it has pink inside of it. Looking for more, Dr. Taylor finds what he thinks are little pieces of shaped wood. And then more. The scanner completely loses the beacon signal. The drillers will try pulling out the drill bit again to change the frequency the signal is using in an effort to maintain contact. If that doesn't work, they are left with drilling blind to see what happens next. The team sends these spoil samples away for testing, and 2 days later, Dr. Mitchell Power, curator of botany at the University of Utah, visits the command center via video conferencing with a report. He says that the wood is most likely stems from aquatic plants. Later, Dr. Taylor says he was very surprised that what he thought was crafted wood was actually an aquatic plant, and also very confused as to how it got that far inside the mesa. Dr. Power's best guess is that during the drilling, they penetrated an ancient wetland deposit. The gel was not algae as Dr. Power thought it would be, so he washed what he said was organic slime or gel material away, and what was left was pieces of burnt plant material shown here. He said there was an abundance of it in a relatively small sample size. Dr. Taylor says, so you mean something caused a fire deep inside the mesa? Dr. Powers says, absolutely, yeah. He goes on to say that they study ancient wildfires, and when they do, this is what they find. And if he had to guess, he would say the mesa has a buried wetland feature inside it. Dr. Taylor later wonders if perhaps the metal dome-shaped object caused the fire. He says, we've got to keep looking for answers inside the mesa. Pieces of metal found previously were even deeper than the plant samples found. Dr. Taylor says it reeks of a crash. They will get further analysis of the green gel. Next time on an all-new The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 5, Episode 11, called Bad to the Drone. The episode synopsis reads as follows. When the team launches an illuminated swarm of drones on Skinwalker Ranch, they are stunned by a series of mysterious events. I'll continue recapping new episodes late Tuesday nights as they air, as well as retro no-cap recaps of the earlier seasons. I'm also doing retro no-cap recaps of The Curse of Oak Island Seasons 6 through 8. All of the other episodes are already done and are in my Oak Island playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.